can never say too much when it comes to giving information about job requirements. When the UN creates a job opening, they are doing that for a particular purpose. There is something they are trying to achieve. There is a problem they are trying to solve. So in filling your form, your job application form, you must provide information that assures them that you are the most qualified person to get this job done. You are a fit and proper person to be given the opportunity to deliver on these jobs. Whether you are able to deliver on this job depends a lot on the information you give. Not on what you know, but on what you have told them that you know. Let everything be in your job application form. When they go through it and they are satisfied with what they have seen, that gives you an opportunity to even be interviewed to test your competence. That is why I'm going to provide or play to you another video from the United Nations, which has given you in clear terms all you need to know in providing information about job requirements. Without wasting any more time, let's jump to the video right now.
Job requirements. How to respond. Completing the job requirements section is a mandatory step in your application process. It is your opportunity to highlight your specific experiences, skills, knowledge and practitioner credentials in relation to the job you are applying for and to convince the hiring manager that you are a qualified candidate. Your job requirements responses should be coherent, consistent and supported by information provided in your candidate profile. Some questions relate to your work experience. In those cases, a good job requirements response contains two parts. Part 1 should identify the date of employment, start date to end date, and the name of the employers during which specific experience was gained. Part 2 should explain in detail the experience, skill and knowledge you gained during the years specified in your answers. Simply answering yes or see my candidate profile is not sufficient.
Now, before we go further, let me explain this part 2. I have said it repeatedly, but I can never get tired of saying it. Tell your story better than anyone. You have the opportunity to do that. Tell your story without leaving anything. Cross all the T's and dot all the I's. I've seen part 1 is important to provide information about who your previous employers are, the contact address and all that, because they would want to verify. But even before going to verify, part 2 is more important. You give them enough reason to even want to take further step. The information you provide in part 2 determines the success of your application to a very great degree. Let your previous experience be well explained. Let the skills and the knowledge you have gathered in the past and how it is relevant to the current job opening to the United Nations, let it be well explained in greater details. You can never say so much. No, it is even better that you are putting yourself in a position where anybody will accuse you of saying too much than you are not saying at all, or you are not saying enough at all. You can never overplay it. Put out all the information. It is in your best interest.
For example, to the generic experience question. Do you have 7 years of progressively responsible experience in human resources management and administration? Do not write the simple answer. Yes, I have 9 years of experience in human resources management. See my candidate profile for details.
No, that is wrong.
A good answer would be.
Excellent.
To this more specific experience question. Do you have supervisory experience related to managing complex logistics and transportation operations?
Try to understand.
A good answer would be.
It's on the screen. Try to understand the question first. Provide the answers in
Some
detail.
job requirements questions address required criteria, with others may address desirable criteria. Required criteria are mandatory and eliminatory, meaning candidates who do not meet these criteria will be screened out.
Good.
Desirable criteria are additional factors which may be used to further narrow the screening pool if needed.
Now, pay attention here. They say if needed, but that is not exactly what it is. It will always be needed. required is mandatory. You must provide it. If you don't provide them, there is even no chance of considering your application at all. So it's mandatory. You must provide them. But desired gives you option. It gives you a leeway. You can decide to provide them or not. But you ask yourself, what do we even stand to lose by providing them? Nothing. But instead, you stand to lose by not providing them. You will not be penalized by not providing them, but it denies you the opportunity to be accessed or derives benefit from those qualities. So even though it has not been strictly or mandatorily demanded from you, as long as they are positive, they are things that adds to the value that you can possibly bring to the United Nations. Put them forward, advance them. It will help make your case in a way that ignoring or not providing them would leave you exposed. The AI voice said that they could come back to consider these things if necessary. So if they will come back to consider this if necessary, why not leave it there? There are some applicants who will not provide this and who will think that probably when they are called, they will explain. You might not even be called. So put it forward there and let the hiring managers have the opportunity to have a very clear view and understanding of who you are, even at the first look. Now let's continue.
One question may relate to publications. For example, for the question, publications in the field of human resources management is desirable. Do not simply answer yes, I published an article on this topic, or see my candidate profile for details. A good answer would be to mention your published work as a bibliographical reference. Other questions may relate to licenses, certifications, tests or examinations, and training or learning. You should follow the same principles when answering to these questions by providing specific information on the qualifications title or description, date granted or obtained, and granting entity or provider. For example, for the question, certification in human resources management is desirable. Do not simply answer yes, I have a certification in human resources management, or see my candidate profile for details. A good answer would be to mention the type of certification obtained and the year it was obtained. If you click the box, I do not meet this criterion, or the box no, or the box none, or not applicable, and the criterion is required, the system will automatically reject your application. If you enter comments, but fail to demonstrate your experience against the required criterion, your application may not be further considered. Before sending your application, make sure to fill in all your personal information and supply relevant details of your work history for this position.
Now that's the end of the video. I'm sure you have benefited wonderfully from all the descriptions and all the explanations from the AI voice and my further explanations in the course of the infographic video. Now, there are further information you can get from my blog. I've written widely in this area and in other areas. The link to the blog is down below. You can go in and see what else you can get or more information that you can benefit from. Now, if you have actually benefited from this, I am going to make a plea. Do 3 things for me. Can you please like this video so that YouTube can also recommend it to others? Can you also share it, please, on your social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, so that others can come across and also benefit from it. And importantly, please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, can you also subscribe so that you continue to get alerts every time I upload a new content, which I'll continue to do so that my subscribers will continue to benefit. Now, I want to thank you so much for being part of today's briefing. If you have any question at all, feel free to drop them down below, comments or feedbacks. I will be happy to go through them and respond as promptly as I can. Now, I want to thank you so much once again for being part of this. Until the next briefing, thank you and stay blessed.